She sat quietly in her first-class seat, wearing a simple gray blazer and no jewelry, just tired eyes and a laptop full of contracts. The flight attendant barely acknowledged her. When meals were served, they skipped her entirely. When she politely asked, she was told, "Ma'am, this section is for our top-tier guests only." She didn't argue. She didn't raise her voice. But she took out her phone, typed something calmly, and waited. Because what they didn't realize was that this ordinary woman wasn't just another passenger. She owned the airline, and by the time the plane touched down, careers were already over. Ava Kingsley, a self-made billionaire and the founder of one of the world's top travel conglomerates, was known for flying under the radar. She didn't flaunt wealth, didn't demand attention, and often dressed like any professional woman on a business trip. But she paid attention to everything and everyone. That's how she built her empire. Ava booked a first-class seat under her assistant's name on a routine flight from San Francisco to New York to avoid fanfare. She wanted to inspect how her newly acquired airline, Skylux Air, handled premium passengers. This was part of her silent audit process, a habit she'd developed after hearing whispers of declining service standards. As she boarded, no one offered to help her with her luggage. There were no smiles. There were no greetings. The crew focused on the suited men in flashy watches and designer wear. Ava took her seat quietly, watching it all unfold. She was invisible to them, and that was precisely what she wanted. For now. Wait a second and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Once in the air, the flight attendants began their first-class service. Champagne was poured and gourmet meals were served. But Ava, seated in 2A, received nothing. She raised her hand gently, signaling to the attendant, "Carol." "Yes?" Carol asked with a tone laced with impatience. "I didn't get a meal," Ava said calmly. Carol glanced at her up and down. "We have limited meals. They're reserved for our platinum guests. Try checking with the economy." Ava blinked, stunned but composed. "I believe I am seated in first class." Carol gave a tight smile. "Ma'am, we prioritize our real VIPs." A man beside Ava overheard and chuckled. She probably got upgraded with points. Ava didn't respond. She opened her laptop and typed a short email with the flight number, crew details, and a 2-line message. "Immediate review of flight crew on board, Flight 782. Unacceptable conduct observed in first class." The crew continued the flight as if nothing had happened. Ava didn't push back, didn't cause a scene. But from the quiet clicks of her keyboard, consequences were already in motion. As the plane landed at JFK, Ava stayed seated until all passengers had disembarked. The crew looked relieved to be nearly done with their shift. Then a uniformed supervisor entered the cabin with a security officer. He walked straight to Carol and the 2 other senior attendants. "Carol Jennings, Sam Miller, and Donna Reed, you are hereby suspended pending termination. Collect your belongings and exit the aircraft." "What?" Carol gasped. "Why?" The supervisor stepped aside. Ava stood up, now joined by 2 corporate aides. "I'm Ava Kingsley," she said firmly, "CEO of Kingsley Global Holdings. Skylux Air is mine, and so is your employment record." Carol's face drained of color. Sam stumbled for words. "We didn't know." "That's the problem," Ava interrupted. "You only offer respect when you think someone's important. That ends today." The story went viral after a fellow passenger posted the confrontation online. Thousands applauded Ava's quiet strength and decisive leadership. She later publicly stated, "Customer service must be rooted in dignity, not appearances." Gaiety Luke's Air implemented sweeping reforms, mandatory empathy training, undercover evaluations, and a renewed mission to treat every passenger as valued. Carol and her crew became a case study in corporate failure. And Ava? She continued to fly anonymously, not to catch people, but to reward those who did their job with heart, no matter who was watching. The message echoed far beyond the airline industry. Status doesn't define a person. Character does. If you enjoyed this story and thought it was provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.